Welcome to Schuylkill County from State Game Lands 222. Currently I'm on top of one of the mountains checking out a clear cut. And habitat improvement or habitat disaster, you can let me know in the comment section down below. There's at least over 1,000 acres in here that was logged out. You can see this area from Heiser's Dairy Bar. The whole top of the mountain is logged out. It swings around the mountain on both sides. And I believe this started last year sometime. Lots of oak trees on top of this mountain. The infestation killed a lot of these, but a lot of the trees taken out weren't dead. You can see by the massive stumps on the ground, there was some pretty big timber in here. Fortunately, none of the hemlocks vanished, only a few big ones that were dead. Only time will tell if this area will grow back or not. This would be a science experiment. In the process, I'll check back in this area every so many years and see what this looks like. Usually when you cut an area out this big, it takes about 50 plus years to grow back. After about 10 years, the saplings in here will be so thick you won't be able to walk through here. And usually they'll get about 10 or 12 feet high. Usually most of the mountains look like this. The soil is very poor. Still lots of hemlocks at the bottom, untouched by woolly algae. I was watching this last year when I was driving around up here with hunting partner. Today I figured I'd come up here and check it out. Every 6 or 7 months I think I'll come back here and check it out and see if anything's growing in here. Lots of oak trees in here. There are acorns everywhere you look. Most of the acorns in here are from the red oaks. And the deer are having a feast on them. You can see the deer tracks. The deer are feasting on all the acorns on the ground, so to me that says that all the oak trees weren't dead. This should start regenerating in about 5 or 6 years due to how many acorns are in the soil. The deer will never eat all of them. There's too many of them. But it's kind of sad to look at. This was a very beautiful mountaintop, and there's a beautiful view to the other side of the mountain. I would guess there's over 1,000 acres that were logged out of here, and I'm curious what the dollar amount was that came from the timber. But one time I had a 10-acre lot, and I had some loggers come in and price my property, and they said I had about $20,000 on my 10-acre lot. But fortunately it never panned out. We ended up selling that. But that tells you how much money you can make off of oak trees. I can only wonder what the dollar amount was for the timber harvest in here. There were a lot of big oak trees in here. The cut goes all the way to the top of the mountain. It goes all the way to the side. And then I walked all the way down to the edge up here, which is pretty far over there. So there's well over 1,000 acres that were cut in here. Habitat improvement or habitat destruction. You could look at this either way. There are a lot of acorns on the ground. This used to be primetime deer and turkey habitat, and once in a while you would run into a bear down here. It kind of breaks your heart when you see this much destruction. You know, unfortunately, the last State Game Lands 257 was destroyed by an infestation too. All those trees will die. Sometimes I think it's better just to let Mother Nature do her thing. All those dead trees will be fertilizer or mulch for all the new trees that'll sprout from all the dead ones. And sometimes the tops die and the shoots come out of the bottom because the root system is still intact, even though they killed the top of the tree. Should be interesting what happens in Pennsylvania in the next 10 or 20 years with the infestation. Let's turn the camera around here and you can check out my view. Spin you around here. I'm on a very, very top of the ridge here. So if we spin around here, you can see if we can zoom around. There we go. Down here out front is the turkey farm, and that's behind Heiser's Dairy Bar. There's a couple ponds out there on the other side of the mountain. Off here in the distance you can see the steeple on the church, and Heiser's is over to the right here. We'll move down the mountain here a little further and you can get a better look, but you can check out the devastation below. There were many acres in here that were cut. It's not a clear cut. There are some trees still standing. Sometimes wildlife agencies will come in and they will actually clear cut the entire mountain. But this goes all the way out and around. Currently the road up the front side is gated off, and there's a gate at the bottom. So I parked at the bottom where you can see the skidder road coming out. let's go up on, I'm going to go up on top of the hill here, and you can get a wider perspective of the view that I have. So I'll be right back. Very beautiful up here. A few minutes ago it was starting to snow. You look way over on the other mountaintop. I don't know if the camera can get this. That whole ridge over there is lined with windmills. Let's see how many windmills are going. I can see 16 windmills over there. Here's a big berm or something sticking up. Maybe that's a slag pile from a strip mine over there. There's still a lot of strip mines in Pennsylvania. Centralia has one right in the middle, and they're actively still mining that area. Very peaceful up here. Here's another look below coming up the mountain. There we go. Okay. Whew. Very warm up here climbing around. Got to cool down here a little bit. Still very, very pretty up here. Habitat improvement or habitat destruction? You can let me know some thoughts in the comment section, and let me know what you think. A lot of the treetops are still here. That's also a positive. A lot of the trees will rot, and there are some new trees that will take their place. Usually when they log an area like this, they're supposed to leave so many trees per acre. And I had one person tell me it was 10 to an acre. And the 10 to an acre will reseed the area and replace what was harvested or knocked down. A lot of times when you come into an area like this, all the treetops are removed and they are chipped up, made into strand board, or they turn it to mulch, leaving no nutrients left behind for the new trees to grow. How many nutrients are there in the leaves when they fall off in the fall and the trees become bare? There's enough nutrients in the leaves to fertilize the entire forest for a year. And every year you see people breaking them up and burning them, polluting the atmosphere, where they could basically fertilize the yard for an entire year and help build topsoil. Topsoil is made out of organic material, which usually are rotting plants and decaying leaves and grass. Even if you leave the grass in your yard, it will decompose and create more soil, making your yard much healthier. Sometimes you wonder if Mother Nature would be better off without us. We have a habit of screwing everything up and destroying everything. If this area was left alone and wasn't cut, all the rotten trees would fall over on their own, and they would be food for the new trees that would replace them. I'm not really a fan of logging. I would rather see them flatten areas to create a natural blowdown area, like if a storm came. There were a few of those in Devil's Hole, where it actually flattened the whole side of the mountain. And every time we went there, the deers were underneath of the trees that were laying down, using them for thermal cover and to hide from the predators. So blowdowns are always a good thing. Clear cuts are not. Still very peaceful here. The snow stopped. You could hear all the sounds in the bottom from the houses and the dogs barking. There's still lots of acorns on the ground in here, and you can follow the deer tracks and see the deer vacuuming them up. Here we go. New battery. Most of the oaks in here are red oaks, and the gypsy moth have hit this place quite a few times, but there's no comeback to spotted lanternflies. They just annihilated everything in here. I started hunting the wildcat when I was about 12 years old, and we had many trips, my dad and I and his brothers and his hunting friends up here over the years. Hunting partner and I have hunted this mountain from one end to the other, year after year, month after month. Freezing rain, snow, sleet. Still a very beautiful area. Fortunately, a lot of these areas now are posted. Once you get on the other side over here, the houses, it's posted for miles and miles and miles all the way down the ridge. And the state game lands behind 222, which is on the other side. The entire Cold Run Road is posted on both sides, and that trout stream will no longer be stocked. The commission will not stock a trout stream that is posted. So we lost that trout stream too. The trout stream at the bottom of the mountain here has native trout in it. It has a very a very thin population of wild trout. They're very spooky. I have never been able to catch one out of there with my fly rod, no matter how stealthy I was, even wearing camo. Wild trout can be difficult to catch. Even if you get a very tiny one, 2 or 3 inches, it's a trophy. They're very beautiful, and they're very hard to catch. Schuylkill County will always be a deer machine. It'll never change. Unfortunately, 90 to 95% of the property up here is posted. A lot of farms, a lot of farmers, so there'll always be deer here. They come out in the fields at night. But hopefully the hunting seasons will change for the better in the future and let some of the deer come back. Quite a few days I sat up here with my inline, waiting for a doe to come by, sun up to sun down. Actually on top of this ridge up here, and I've seen turkeys up here and bear, but it is no more. It is cut to the ground, nothing but a pile of logs and sticks. It's kind of hard to take in sometimes when the woods are flattened like this. Let's spin the camera around here. This used to be Turkey Central. There used to be hundreds of turkeys roaming back here, and when we hunted on the other side over here, we always saw turkeys on that side and this side. And when they logged the other side of the mountain over there, where the road goes up, the turkeys used to roost on the front. And once they logged that out, all the turkeys came over to this side. Turkeys need certain requirements to roost at night where they feel secure. They like to be on top of the ridge in tall trees, preferably large pine trees, is where they feel safe. That road that you drive up where the bridge is, it was all washed out, caved in, and the hunting on this side was much better. There were more deer on this side and more turkeys. Anytime any game agencies start cutting roads in the mountains and plowing stuff out, it always pushes the wildlife away. So anytime you see people putting more roads in, you hear, oh, more opportunity, I can get in there further. Yeah, but you're messing with the breeding grounds, and you're scaring them out of where they roost at night. All the turkeys from the mountain on that side and this side roosted right on the front here. They would gather together in large flocks, and when you would come up here in the morning, in the dark, deer hunting, turkeys would fly everywhere. But if you were up here in sunlight, you could hear them cackling and flying down on the edge of this ridge. And they would roost in there by the hundreds, and it was very common to go down there and see 200 or 300 turkeys up in them hemlocks and the oak trees. And then once they put the road in on the bottom, they made more access. So now you can drive across the bridge, and you can come all the way up here, and there's a parking lot on the other side. And you can also park on the road down at the bottom. But once they opened that road up, the turkeys vanished. They disappeared off into the mountains. And a lot of the deer that used to be at the bottom, where you could walk down that road, you couldn't drive down it. You would see deer moving in between the hemlocks. But all that's gone. And that road on the bottom chased a lot of them deer away. And it chased a lot of those turkeys away. The turkeys haven't roosted in there in years. And now a lot of our turkeys are gone. So does a logged out area like this improve the habitat, or does it make it worse? You can look at it either way. This area might become better and provide more food. We're not really helping the process here. If they would have let all them trees die and rot, and they would turn into fertilizer for the new trees that would sprout up. But I'm not sure if this actually helped or not. You can be the judge of that. It's very difficult to look at. It just boggles my mind. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost today. Thanks for coming along. Like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video today, leave some comments below. Let me know what you think on areas that are logged out to improve the habitat. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost.